All right, we are back here, episode 41, Yard by Yard podcast. Appreciate everybody joining me. Recap and picks episode. God dang it. Preview and picks episode. Can't speak. I can never speak, I feel like. Um, One thing to come out, just news. Brian Kelly is hated by everyone in the entire world. I've never seen a coach hated more by any just a dramatic group of not I've never seen a more dramatic kind of like everyone hates this guy. There's not a single person who said they've liked him. So that's really funny. That's really funny. Okay, let's get right into it. Got some good games this weekend. Got some playoff elimination games this weekend in college for sure. So first game, 11 a.m. Vandy at Texas. Texas is a 2.5 point favorite. The over/under is 44.5. Now Texas, these are just some betting stats to get into it. For Texas, the under is hit in 6 of its last 8 home games. For Vanderbilt, they are 7-1 straight up this season and 6-2 against the spread. So they have been very efficient this year, betting wise. Now, Texas, on the other hand, against the spread, they're 2-6, so not very great. Now, look, this game is a true playoff elimination game. Now, Vanderbilt is, I would say, probably the hottest team in the SEC right now. Maybe the hottest team in college football, alongside. Yeah, they're the hottest team. I'll definitely say they're the hottest team. You could put Indiana in there, but I think Vanderbilt is definitely the hottest team. They're almost penciling themselves in here for a playoff spot. And if they can win this game, I'm going to get to the point where I am going to pencil them in because it's becoming more and more of a reality that this Vanderbilt team is going to finish with 1 or 2 losses and make the playoffs here. Now, are we going to see Vandy be like Tennessee last year? I don't think so. I think this is a better team. Diego Pave is playing really good. Their defense has been really good as well. That's a really highlight. I mean, that's what won them the game against Missouri last week. Now, I know that Bo Prabula got hurt, but the defense held their own and defense played great and helped them to win this game. Now, against this Texas team, which it's going to be interesting to see with what happens with Arch. Let me actually check and see if what his status is for this game. Because, I mean, they were scoring points in the second half last week. Are we going to see a different Texas team? I don't know. Are we going to see a team? Are they going to open it up now? I'm not sure. Let me see what's going on here. All right, so he returned to practice this week alongside Michael Taft. So him and Michael Taft showed up. So that is big for them here. Sarkisian was asked if he could start, and he said it is up to the doctors. So we'll see there what happens with what happens with them. Don't really know much about that backup, but we'll see what happens. And now the defense is still very good for Texas. Defensively, league rankings, they're third in rush yards allowed with only 80 a game. And the rush yards for the Vanderbilt offense averages 203 yards a game. Now, defensively, just points allowed total, the defense for Texas is ranked 10th in the country with only allowing, on average, about 14 a game. But on the other side, the offense for Vanderbilt is 12th in the nation, averaging 38 points per game. So I think this is going to be a really, really fun game, honestly. I don't know my thoughts about that total there at 45.5. I think this could go either way. This could be a fun defensive game or a fun offensive game where, both these offenses kind of click. But where I think Vanderbilt is going to have the advantage, and that's why I'm picking Vanderbilt, is Vanderbilt is going to decimate that offensive line. We have seen that offensive line for Texas have problems all season. Now, has Arch been a problem all season too? He definitely has. But that offensive line has been, I believe, the main cause of this. Arch has never had time to look comfortable. He's always been running around trying to find a play. I put a lot of that on the offensive line. And like I was saying before the Oklahoma game, Texas has not been able to establish the run with that offensive line until the Oklahoma game. That's when their offense and their team look the best. If they can find a way to do that offensively with the offensive line and the running game and establish the run and run the ball really well, I will be very confident in Texas going forward this season, especially if they can win this game. But I just don't trust that offensive line enough, and I really trust the Vanderbilt defense and how really good they've looked lately, especially against a good Missouri offense. I mean, they held Ahmad Hardy in check, so I'm not wavering against my Vandy picks. I've done them twice in a week. We're going back to the well. Vandy wins this game, but I think it's going to be a close game. All right, next game, Arizona State at Iowa State. Arizona State is a 7-point underdog. Iowa State is a 7.5-point favorite or 7-point favorite. Over under is 48.5. Betting stats: Iowa is 10-2 straight up in home games over the last 12 games. Now, the ASU defense allowed 20-plus passing yard plays on 13.3% of passing attempts, while Iowa State's defense only allows 8.1% on those type of plays as well. Now, Arizona State, the total has gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. This game just screams Iowa State to me. Arizona State has not been the team that we all thought they were going to be. They were picked to win the Big 12 because of last year. Arizona State's got all the hype. Kenny Dillingham, Sam Leavitt. But this year, they just have not looked the exact same. They have not, been at that level that we saw them at last season. Excuse me. I just think Iowa State's a good team. Now, Iowa State should have won that game last week, but they didn't. Iowa State collapsed in the fourth quarter against BYU, and they lost that game. And that's really a game they should have won because they had everything going their way until that muff punt, and it all just fell to shit. So I have Iowa State winning this game. I think it is going to be I don't think it's going to be close. I think maybe it'll be close in the first half, but then I think Iowa State's going to run away with it because, look, Iowa State is searching for that win, losing 3 in a row, and now they're going to go in and they're going to win this game. I need to go over my picks before. Guys, I was 4-0 again last week in college, so you got to follow me. And I was 3-0 in NFL. We had an undefeated week, guys. Hope you tailed. I've been 4-0 in college on back-to-back weeks. In college, I'm 24-19, and then in NFL, I'm 13-9-1. So come on, guys. You gonna listen to me now? Come on. All right. Yeah, my pick for that game is Iowa State. Got Iowa State winning that. Next game is Oklahoma at Tennessee. Tennessee is a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 56.5. Got some betting stats here. Tennessee has hit the over in 6 out of the last 8 meetings in this series. Now, this series dates back in the 90s and things like that. Now, straight up, Tennessee's been really great at home, 25-2 in their last 27 games. But their against the spread record at home is not as good as that. Their last 25 home games, they are 16-9 against the spread. Oklahoma, they've got a huge trend of unders lately. The under has hit in 8 of the last 9 games. When entering as a road underdog, Oklahoma is 7-2-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. Now, this is our true first real elimination game. This is our true first playoff elimination game. Both these teams are 6-2. Both of these teams have a lot on the line. Oklahoma has a lot more because I think you're playing for your coach's job. I think that Brent Venables will be okay this year, especially with all the coach openings that are open up. But if you go on a skid and you lose a couple of these games, people are gonna start calling for your name. But you're also in the spot where you can't really fire him because this is already the most insane coaching carousel this year. It's going to be even more if that happens because we're going to potentially see Mike Norvell, Hugh Freeze, Luke Fickell all leave Wisconsin, Auburn, and Florida State. In my predictions, that's what I think we're going to see at the end of the season. But I think Venables is fine. Now, this is going to be a true test for the defenses in both of these games. Now, the Ole Miss. The Oklahoma defense did not play very well last week against Ole Miss at all. Really exposed them. Really showed that they had not played a true quarterback yet. And the stats backed it up because all their previous games, except for Oklahoma, they played not good quarterbacks or quarterbacks that were not playing as well as the others, and you had a field day. And then you go and you play Trinidad Chambliss at home, a game you should win, and you lose that game. You made a run at the end, but it kind of felt like Ole Miss had control of that game the entire time. So the defense is a worry for Oklahoma going into it now. The defense is also a worry for Tennessee. Tennessee's defense is not good. They can't really stop anything. They can't stop a nosebleed, but the offense is incredible. The Tennessee offense is, I think, what's going to propel them to a win in this game. And a lot of that, too, is I think that Joey Aguilar has to, make another statement win. No, you beat Kentucky last week. That was fine. You could have played close against Alabama. You blew that game with that pick six at the 1 yard line. I think this is a game that Joey Aguilar is going to come out, and Joey Aguilar is going to put up it's kind of going to be like a stat padding game. He's going to throw for probably like 4 touchdowns, 350, and look really good doing it. I think this is going to be a duel, though, because I think that John Mateer is going to come out and have his best game since he's been injured. And I still have faith in John Mateer. He's had a bad couple of games, and I think he'll be okay. And I think, now with him coming in and playing, and you're on the road, you're in a place where you got to win. Both these teams are desperate. Both these teams have to win to keep your season alive for the playoffs. So why not bet the over with all these teams needing to score as much as they can with their defense not playing great? I'm taking the over here at 56.5, and I am going to take Tennessee at -2.5. I think they're going to win this game by 7. It's going to be a close game, but it's going to, I think, come down to the wire. I see an overtime game right here, and I think we're going to see the best game of the week. I think this should have been game day, but everyone hates it when game day goes to SEC. So over 56.5, and I got Tennessee winning this one. Next game, USC -6.5 at Nebraska. Nebraska's over-under is 59.5. I love the under here. Now, USC's offense has been really good. They're averaging 42.4 points a game this season. On the road, USC has had a trend of unders, hence why I'm taking that under. 4 out of the last 5 away games have gone under. Against the spread, USC is 2-6 in their last 8 road games. Now, Nebraska, the over has hit in 6 out of the last 7 home games. And against the spread, they are 0-4-1 in their last 5 games. So they have been a disaster against the spread. If you've been betting Nebraska against the spread, thank God I have not. Straight up, they're 7-2, and straight up, that's a wrong stat. That's for the next game. Sorry. Straight up, they are 7-2. So, at home, that doesn't make sense either. Sorry, guys, I'm getting bad stats here. But anyways, I can't trust Nebraska. They've had a couple games in a row, especially 2 weeks ago at Minnesota on Friday night. They got their ass kicked. They have games where they are flirting around and they can't put a team to bed and they don't cover the spread here. Now, I think this is the first game in a couple weeks that they aren't favored, and it's at home. You're bringing in a USC team who can score a lot, and they also need to, they're essentially out of the playoffs, but you're kind of playing for your coach's job here at this point as well, because people are starting to play for Lincoln Riley. Now, do I think he's going to get fired? No, but that conversation has been happening, and it's something that doesn't surprise me, with the lack of production that Lincoln Riley has had since Caleb Williams has left. So I really think this is a huge spot for USC. I think USC is going to win this game. I think the under is going to hit, but I think USC wins this game, and I think it's not only just going to be USC's offense playing really well. I think it's going to be Dylan Raiola in Nebraska just not being able to click because, like I said, they almost lost to Northwestern last week, or did they lose to Northwestern? No, I think they beat Northwestern. Let me check that. It was a tough game for them. They were struggling. They, of course, didn't cover the spread like they never do. But it was a tough game. I know that for sure. Pulling it up. Phone's being slow. What did they do last week? Yeah, they won. They won 28-21. So they have not. They haven't covered the spread in the past 3 weeks. So I'm not going to pick them to cover the spread here, especially with this game being at 6.5. I like USC's quarterback. I like USC able to score points. Now, going on the road, USC is not great on the road, but I don't trust Nebraska enough to pick them to win this game, so I'm going to take USC here. All right, last college game. Cincinnati at Utah. Utah is a 9.5-point favorite. I think is crazy high. Over under is 55.5. Now, I love Cincinnati on the road here against the spread. I wish Utah was maybe a 4-point favorite because then I would hammer Utah. But I think this is way too many points. Now, a Utah home game, crazy shit does happen, and Utah plays insane in these home games. That's why I'm going to take the over here. But it's just way too many points for me to take Utah. I'm not comfortable enough because Cincinnati has been playing really good this season. I mean, they've been a surprising team. Cincinnati, they're 6-2 against the spread this season. They've hit the over in 5 of their last 7 games. On the road, their against the spread record is weaker, not as great. But offensively, they average 38.3 points per game, while the defense is allowing 19 points per game. Now, Utah, they're 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 home games. At home, the total has gone over 5 of their last 6 games. So hence why I'm going to take the over, but I'm taking Cincinnati because I think Cincinnati is a good team that can keep up with this Utah team. And I think Cincinnati is a sleeper, man. I think Cincinnati could be a team that could slip in here to the Big 12 championship and make their way to the playoffs. Especially if you get a win like this on the road at Utah at night, that is a win that will catapult the rest of your season where you go to the Big 12. If you win the Big 12 championship, you can make a run there, But Cincinnati's been impressed with me. They've been playing great. That's why I'm going to take Cincinnati in this game. I just can't take Utah against the spread, and I'm going to take Cincinnati against the spread, and I'm going to take Cincinnati to win this game. I think Cincinnati wins this game. I think Cincinnati's really good. Yeah. Fuck it. Who am I kidding? No, I'm not going against Utah at night. I'm taking Utah to win this game. Cincinnati's covering this spread, and the over is hitting at 55.5. I can't bet against Utah at night, and I love Devin Dampier. I think he's awesome. So I'm going to stay with my guy, Devin Dampier, and I'm going to take Utah at night because if I bet against Utah at night, I'm going to feel like a moron if they win and I bet them to lose. I'm picking them to win, but I'm taking Cincinnati to cover, and I'm taking that over at 55.5. All right, that is it for college. We'll go into the NFL. Got 3 good NFL games. Denver at the Texans. The Texans are a 1.5-point favorite. The over-under for this game is, what is that? Is it 39.5? Jesus, I don't like that at all. 39.5. I mean, this is screaming for us to take the over, and I kind of like it because the Broncos have been scoring a lot. On the year, Bo Nix has 1,800 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, while C.J. Stroud has 1,600, 11, and 5. J.K. Dobbins has been a really good threat for the Broncos running game with 634 yards, 4 touchdowns on 120 attempts. And, I mean, it's just tough that the Houston offense, their best option at running back right now is Nick Chubb with 320 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, I think the Broncos win this. I think the Broncos kill them because we've seen the Texans offense be bad at times, be very bad. And I think we're going to see that again this week because you played last week in San Francisco 49ers team who was depleted on offense. They're depleted on defense. Their entire, defense is just riddled with injuries. So, of course, this team at home in those cool jerseys, we're going to score a lot of points here and try to make a statement game. I think this is just another example for the Broncos defense to show how good they are. The offensive line for the Texans is horrible. It is god-awful. And the Broncos defensive line is the best in all of football. So I think this is going to be a bloodbath for the running game with the Houston Texans, but also blocking. I think C.J. Stroud's going to get his bell rung a ton. Now, on the flip side, the same thing for the defense is the same thing with the Texans. The Texans' defense is really good. They've been playing really good football. They have edge rushers that are playing great on the outside, outside ends, and you got a really good secondary with Kamari Lassiter and Derek Stingley Jr. So that is another good defense to play as well. And it's Broncos, you're not going to be playing the Cowboys defense where we're going to be able to run for hundreds of yards. So it's gonna be a tough battle for the Broncos offense because their defense for the Texans is so good. But the offensive line for the Broncos that's been playing really good, and we've allowed a league low 8 sacks this season. So I'm not worried about that as much. I'm more just confident in how well our defense is going to play against the offense of the Texans. That's why I'm taking the Broncos here. I think we win. I think we win by 10 here. Won't be surprised. I say that now. I'm going to have my heart broken and be pissed. All right. Colts -3 at Steelers. The over-under is 50.5. I think the Steelers are just dog water. I think we saw an example of it that we were kind of trying to hold out hope. Maybe Aaron Rodgers has still got it. Maybe he's still got it, but they still cannot block. They still can't block. Now, their defense is playing really well, and they have great players on the defensive side of the ball, but other than DK Metcalf, who are you throwing the football to? I don't know why you traded George Pickens because that took away one of your primary receivers. I mean, all you have is DK Metcalf to throw the ball to. And so that really limits Aaron Rodgers. And I mean, he'll throw it to Pat Freiermuth. You throw it to Jonnu Smith, but that's kind of all you got. The Steelers are the same thing they've been for a while, and then you rely on the defense because the offense is so inconsistent. Now, the Colts, on the other hand, I've talked about it a lot. They are the best team in all of football. Do not be shocked if this team is in the AFC Championship or in the Super Bowl come the end of the season. They are very good. And Daniel Jones is playing MVP level. You know who also is playing MVP level and deserves the MVP? Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor has 143 attempts for 850 yards and 12 touchdowns on the season. The leading receiver for the Colts, Tyler Warren, with 492. The rookie has been playing awesome. Keep in mind, you also have Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce, who you can just throw the ball to and they'll go get it no matter what. It's not an issue for them. The Indianapolis Colts are such a well-built team. I said it in my preview, and it was from what I heard from Booger McFarland, part of my take. He said, look at the weapons that the Indianapolis Colts have. And if they could have Daniel Jones playing competent and good football, this team can be a dark horse playoff team. Don't even say that. This team can win the Super Bowl. They're playing so well. I'm big on the Colts here. I think the Colts are going to roll in this game. Colts by 3, Colts by 7, whatever. They're going to win this game. The Steelers are going to make it ugly for a little bit, but the Colts are going to win this game, and I think that over is going to hit at 50. No, under is going to hit. No way that the Steelers offense scores that much to help. All right, last game. Kansas City -2 at Buffalo. Over-under is 52.5. This is just unfortunate because I'm just not confident in the Bills this year. I'm not. You got to win to get back on track last week after the bye against the Panthers, but it was the Panthers. Now, do I feel confident that the Bills' defense can stop this Chiefs offense that looks like they're just playing out of their mind right now, and they are back in kind of God mode offense for the Chiefs offense? No, I don't. Especially losing Ed Oliver this past week. I think that the Bills defense is one of the worst in the league. They are constantly, before the bye week, they were constantly getting gashed, especially against the run. Bijan Robinson was killing them in that Monday night game. Drake London was it was a pass, yes, but he was all over the field on him. I'm just not confident. I'm not confident in this Bills defense. I'm very confident in the offense. The offense can go score whenever they want. But what they need to do more with the offense, and that they weren't doing before the bye week, and they started to do last week, that helped and showed that it's efficient, run the ball with James Cook. He can be one of the best running backs in all of football if you run with him. Just continue to run the ball with James Cook. Just continue to do that, because if you're going to get balanced against this Kansas City Chiefs defense, I think it's going to work. Now, your offensive line has to play really well because you have a good defense you're playing against, and great defensive line with Chris Jones and Karlaftis. I just think the Chiefs' offense is going to be way too much for the Bills here. I think that Patrick Mahomes is playing out of his mind. Travis Kelce, too. I mean, not a lot of people are talking about it, but Travis Kelce is improving so much and playing so well. They're also just spamming the Hollywood Rice button that they know that every single time he's open, they're just going to throw it to him for a touchdown because he's missed on the touchdowns that he got when he was suspended. Xavier Worthy's playing great. You even had Juju Smith-Schuster playing great. So this Chiefs offense is scary. This Chiefs team is scary because the offense itself is playing in 2019, 2021, 2022 mode, and that they are dangerous. They are playing really, really good football and just scoring at will however they want. So unfortunately, I don't think the Bills win this one. I just don't have that much faith in their defense. Their offense is great with Khalil Shakir, James Cook, Keon Coleman, and Josh Allen, but I just don't have that much faith in the defense in stopping this Chiefs team, especially just because the Chiefs have just been on a roll as of late, unfortunately. Um, yeah, so I've got Chiefs winning this game. All right, everybody, that's the episode. I appreciate everybody listening. As always, it has been fun. Appreciate y'all watching on YouTube as well. Great to see y'all. Yeah, hope you guys take my picks. We're gonna keep staying hot. But yeah, thank you everybody for listening. And as I always say, enjoy the football and happy Halloween.